Labour wants to take away more of your money. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, let's have a look at this article from news.com.au, because Labour are agreeing, or they think us dumb plebs are too stupid to manage our own money, so they're going to take away more of it and give it to the banks and the union-controlled super funds. Isn't it fantastic, living in a free society where you're treated like a child by the government? Shadow Treasurer Jim Chalmers says increasing superannuation will be a key election promise. I hear you saying, Florrie, no, they're going to increase superannuation. We'll all get more money. Fantastic, from those greedy business owners. But the reality is different. Your package, your wages, everything, it's all bundled up together. That's the burden of employing someone. Now, if one goes up and you can't afford to give people a pay rise, what are you going to do? You won't give them a pay rise. So if people are forced to have more of their potential future earnings diverted into super, that's the government taking money out of your pocket. It's the same thing with sick leave, same thing with holiday leave, same thing with long service leave. It's all money that could be going to pay you, which, well, the business now has to put aside and bank for your future use. Because apparently people think we're too stupid to manage our own money. And if that's correct or not, let's put that aside for another argument. Even if we are too stupid, how are we going to learn if the government ties our hands? If they force us to pay money into these organizations which will save it for us, but it's not voluntary. I've got no problem with superannuation. Saving for your retirement, it makes sense. But it'd be good if it was voluntary, wouldn't it? So let's have a look at this policy. Labour will go to the next federal election defending the legislated rise in superannuation contribution for workers, Shadow Treasurer Jim Chalmers said. Scheduled to speak on Friday afternoon at the Association of Superannuation Funds of Australia conference, Dr. Chalmers will launch the opposition's pledge to lift the superannuation guarantee to 12%. So that's 12% of your money that is being given to the super funds to hold on to, and that they're charging fees of. They're milking for most of your life. They're milking it. They're using it. They want it. They have control over it. If it goes to the union funds, it supports the Labour Party, doesn't it? It's funny that. Claiming its scrapping would make Australians poorer at retirement. Well, the fact that you're creating a housing bubble, so there's no incentive for businesses, and it's not just Labour, it's Liberal, they're all the same. The more interventions the government do into our lives and into business and into the economy make us all poorer. Overall, we're getting poorer. Australians are getting worse off. Sure, yeah, well, I'd say the divide in those that are doing well and those that are not is growing. It's getting harder to get ahead because so many people see getting ahead. Step one is getting a house. A slew of coalition MPs have called for the hike to either be canned or delayed, as it would hamper the nation's economic recovery from the pandemic. Because, the only people that are going to see an increase are going to be those that are not on that are not, or that are on the bare minimum, the bottom of the rung. So they'll be getting an increase and they'll just offset pay rises. That's what it'll offset. So everyone else who's got a package, you'll just have the total, your total package is whatever it is. Okay, now 12% of that package is being delivered to super instead of 9%. Sorry. You don't like it, complain to the politicians. That's how it works, everyone. The Morrison government should stop pretending another super freeze is about higher wages. No, it's not about higher wages. It's about keeping people employed. That's what it is, everyone. I'd like to see an analysis of the effectiveness of having money given to an individual and the number of times the velocity of that money through the economy as opposed to the super funds. That would be interesting. When the truth is they want neither, and they have form or both. What are you talking about here? An expert from Dr. Chalmers' forthcoming speech reads, no, it's not about higher wages or higher super. It's about pretty much keeping people in jobs, allowing businesses to survive. How many businesses have been trading insolvent? How many people have been stupid enough to keep their business going, to look after their staff with the JobKeeper money, but then haven't put enough aside, or realize that they're incurring debts for all the superannuation and other costs and other entitlements, and then wind up falling over. And then they have to lose their house. Maybe they should have just culled the people right at the beginning, but they were being nice. Can you see that happening? I wonder if we'll see those articles appear. Instead of developing a plan to boost wages, okay, it's not, government can't boost wages. You can't boost wages. It's not what you do. You just step in the way and become a pain in the ass for everyone else in business. That's what you do. You destroy innovation. You destroy opportunity. We've got a potential market correction in property here. You've got a huge proportion of our citizenry that are struggling to get into property. The government is not allowing it to happen. You need some destruction in an economy to create opportunity, guys. Maybe the boomers just can't handle a recession anymore. So, and retirement incomes at the same time. The government wants to undermine both by framing it as a simple but fundamentally false choice. Well, we don't have a choice. None of us have it. Well, a lot of people don't have a choice. They're forced to lock money away in super. They don't have the choice. How many people are going to wind up in getting their super and then just paying it all off a mortgage? Labour's stance on superannuation echoes similar words by former Prime Minister Paul Keating and major industry super funds, which have branded the Morrison government of attempting to unravel the country's retirement income system. Dr. Chalmers' speech will follow on opposition leader Anthony Albanese's cornerstone election pledge of creating secure jobs. How the hell can government doesn't create jobs? Here's a shocking dose of reality. Government does not create jobs. Not at all. Even all the jobs that they've created, those are lost potential jobs in the private sector, which would probably be more efficient, because they've forced money out of people's hands, out of businesses' hands. Every dollar the government gets is taken from someone. It's someone's mortgage repayment. It's a child's dance lessons. It's food for someone on the table. That's what it is. They take from people and redistribute and do all these plans. And you've got people who are thanking the government for giving them money, during this JobKeeper thing. But then they've had years and years of the government just pulling money away from you and pissing it away. And now they're just going to create more and more debt, so there'll be more of a burden from our political apparatus, now our glorious leaders, for future generations. I mean, look at Keating. I mean, some of these politicians are so far removed from this generation just trying to break into the market, break into housing, trying to raise a family. They've got no idea. They're too far removed, guys. It's been argued that rising superannuation would come at the expense of real-time wage growth, which the Reserve Bank has tipped will remain stagnant for years. Yeah, we're not going to see wage growth, guys. I don't think it's even going to... I think it's going to cost jobs. It's going to cost jobs because it's going to be extra burden on businesses. It'll cost jobs. So you might as well, everyone, just jump on public servant bandwagon, Lap it up at the pig trough. RBA Governor Philip Lowe last year said a superannuation guarantee rise would affect wage growth and was a matter the government needed to discuss. I mean, think about this. If this is coming and you want to give staff a pay rise, you'd probably hold off on it until the 12% comes in, or you'd take into account of it. In his speech, Dr. Chalmers noted the last time a super freeze occurred, wages did not significantly increase. Yeah, but what was employment like? We're in the first recession. We've had the first recession in 28 years. You've got unemployment at 6.6%. Some people are predicting it to head over 10%. You've got underemployment and unemployment at the Roy Morgan numbers over 20%. And you're not letting people have control of their own money. More of it is going to be controlled by these other big union or bank-controlled corporations. They're all the same. They're all bastards that just want to control what you've worked for. I've got no problem with it existing. Let them compete. Imagine how hard they would work if it was completely voluntary. The last super freeze didn't spur wage growth, he said. In the 6 years before the government froze the super guarantee in 2014, wages grew at about 3.3%, but in the 6 years since, wage growth has averaged barely 2%. The government has made no formal announcements that it intends to scrap the superannuation guarantee rise. See, I would always encourage my staff to get a super fund where they can actually see it. So they can see how much they have in their super. Because, you know, I'd tell them. They wouldn't care about it. They were young. But I'd tell them, guys, this is part of the cost of hiring you. I want you to appreciate that bloody money. Following the Retirement Income Review report last year, Treasurer Josh Frydenberg announced the government would look at policy settings to see if changes needed to occur in light of the pandemic. We've always been quite cautious through the course of this pandemic to try and make decisions at a time when the information is at its best, Frydenberg said in October. And we're not at a point when it comes to making a number of those decisions. The superannuation guarantee rate is set to rise to 10% by July 1 and incrementally increase by 0.5% to 12% by July 2025. Florian, it's only 10%. 10%. 10% of your money that is being locked up and controlled by others. Forced. Sure, I mean, it's good that we have to save. People should save, but it should be voluntary. What do you reckon? Do you think people are just too stupid and too financially illiterate that we need this? Or do you think the fact that we have these paternalistic policies in place means that people don't think they need to take control or even worry about their financial literacy? Is it the chicken or the egg, guys? Were we better in the 80s before this was mandatory than now? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Are you a fan of mandatory superannuation? And do you think people are going to appreciate that this is their money being locked away from them? Or do you think we need to make an end to it and maybe look at some voluntary approaches? Or, you know, the political will just won't be there. As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, support us using PayPal, or you can sign up to MeetRx or SelfWealth and help us that way. Take care, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.